Start with some tea.
Start with some tea. Awesome. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. I think starting out a podcast, you need to start with the origin story. That is, how did you get to where you are now? So, Andrew, my question for you, let's just dive right into it. How did you get here?
How did I get here?
Yeah.
God brought me here.
We know
Short
that
story.
your mom and dad love each other, and a baby comes. Baby Andrew comes out, and you can go as fast or as slow through that age that you want. But I'm curious, like, what are some things you think, some steps along the way that got you to this point in your journey?
So, like, May 1995, no, I'm not gonna start from there. I think it all started from, I met some Christian friends in college, and I was just like really curious about like why, they told me, oh, God told me to come to Taiwan and share the gospel to study His word. And I'm like, interesting, because a lot of times when my dad or my mom tell me to do something, I'm like, no, I don't want to. So it all started from, so what kind of relationship do you have with your God? Because I wasn't born as a Christian, so to me it's always interesting. I mean, I'm accepting all kind of religions, but like Christianity was something really different, because instead of like you give a lot of money to the temple or a different thing, but they actually want you to do something. So I think first I get to know one of the friend, Nancy, then she brought me here, and I just starting from, just come, grab a coffee. If my friend asked me if I want to come to church, and I came, and like slowly finding out like that there's a true God while I was in my mandatory service. And that's how He brought me to Aroma as an interpreter. I mean, I was like a Christian, like, I prayed a prayer and then give my life to Christ, but I'm still like finding out. So it's starting from like, I will say Jesse, former one of the Envision leader in Taiwan. He gave me the opportunity like to serve with the teams and intern, even though I was not baptized. So I think that was just something God opened like the door, even though I'm like, I prayed a prayer, but I was not baptized, but I have the opportunity and privilege to work with people who love God a lot. I think that affects me, because I'm still, back then, I think 2018, that summer, I'm like, why do you want to spend your own money? Why do you want to spend your own time? It's your summer vacation. But you say, God, because of God, tell you to come here. So I came for 10 days, 14 days. And you don't even know if anything will be changed. But, from 2018 until 2024, right now, I did see a lot of things being changed. And if we don't obey or honor what God wants us to do and then actually go do it, nothing is going to be changed. I would say maybe one of the example, because those missionaries in Danshui, they probably don't know what will happen, but hey, maybe I should talk to that guy. And that guy became an associate pastor here and tried to help the business and church, like do a lot of different events and support. So I think what brought me here is a group of people like love God a lot and wants to introduce His love to more and more people, and that's something that I really wanted to do. To let more and more people to understand the love of God.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. I have a few questions.
Yes.
So I heard you talk about having some Christian friends that started maybe to ask you questions.
Yeah.
You grew up going to the temple.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I think most of the time I just follow my grandma.
Okay.
So when she was still alive.
By the way,
yeah.
Grandma loves coffee.
Yeah.
And so she would say, did she speak Taiwanese or Chinese or Japanese in the house?
She speak, wait, I think Taiwanese and Chinese.
Okay, Taiwanese
Yeah.
and Chinese. So she would say, make me a coffee, right?
Yeah.
I remember one time she came and visited.
Yeah.
So I got to make her coffee one time. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And she say like, 我害怕外国人有胡子.
I'm afraid of foreigners that grow
Grandma,
beards.
Grandma.
Oh, Grandma, you're so racist. Just kidding.
No.
Grandma, you're the best.
I'm like, but she was like, but you know, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had these, you went to the temple and you just kind of followed what Grandma did because she was kind of like the leader of the family, you'd say?
Yeah. And then my grandma and my dad, I think most of the time now I just go to temple with them once a month, mostly my grandma.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, before exam, before big stuff, you always go to the temple
Yeah.
and trying to like give in some sacrifice,
Yeah.
like some cookies, some fruits, and then, make a wish and hope that your wish will come true.
Yeah.
But I realized after becoming a Christian, that is more like a fear, because if I don't do that, I might lose my blessing. If I don't go to the temple regularly, that was just something that, so the God of knowledge, of education, they won't protect me, so I won't pass my exam.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, Christian friends, were they your age or older than you, or?
I think around my age.
Okay. And they just started to ask you questions about what you believe, or did they come and say like, you need to believe Jesus, or like, what was that like?
I think it's starting from, they say, do you want to come and hang out at their coffee shop?
Okay.
Because they have a coffee shop and open in a very interesting hour,
Okay.
from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m.
Okay.
So it's like evening. I'm like, why the coffee shop open by that time? But that was just, I think it was cool. So I went there and I asked him lots of questions because I was like, I want to know more.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So they invited you into relationship with them,
Yeah.
and maybe it was around coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma had you making coffee when you were younger.
Yeah.
And then your friends invited you, and around a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
you started to have opportunity to share with them and also to learn from them, kind of some exchange.
Yeah.
Some community was being built around that.
Yeah.
And so that was a kind of a special time for you, where people created a space for you to question and to learn and to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember any really important conversations you had that really made a big difference for you during those first few interactions?
Let me think. I think maybe one of the conversations that I have, it's people ask me, do I know how to pray?
Okay.
I'm like, what is
Interesting.
prayer?
What is prayer?
What
you
is
know, when
saying
you
a
throw
prayer?
those rocks on the ground in the temple.
Yeah, or like where I need an incense, I need to burn it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, what do you mean? And then one of my friends, he said, you might be very good at that because you like to talk. I think praying is like that. Instead of talking to people, you pray, you talk to God.
Yeah.
And it's not like he doesn't, it's not like he doesn't know what happened to you in your life.
Yeah.
Or that is the different thing. It's not just to make a wish, but like building a relationship is like you share about things, even though sometimes your dad probably know a lot of things, but they still want you to share what happened. Yeah. And slow down and listen to him.
Cool.
So that was one thing. I'm like, I will be very good at prayer because I like to talk.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then a friend, you said her name was Nancy.
Yeah.
She brought you to Aroma, and that made that was another coffee experience.
Yeah.
Seems like coffee is kind of a trend.
Yeah.
A trend. We're drinking tea today.
Because I
but
can't.
I know it's coming. Andrew is fasting from coffee for a while, but you'll be back to it soon.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we drink tea.
No.
All right. And then at Aroma, you said there was opportunity to try new things,
Yeah.
maybe to try interpreting for people. And was that kind of scary?
Not really,
No?
but maybe nervous in the beginning because I don't want to make any mistakes.
Mistakes, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it kind of weird that you, did you consider yourself a Christian at that point or not?
Yes, I would say I'm a Christian.
Okay, so you were a Christian, but maybe you weren't sure if you knew all the right words or would understand what someone else was saying. So how do I interpret this?
Yeah, I would think about that. I'm like, what is that? I remember first time I was trying to interpret, and then my friend, I think his name is Parker.
Okay.
He's from Nebraska.
Okay.
And I didn't know, wait, what is Nebraska? It's a state, but I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know. Somewhere from America. I just said that in Chinese.
And Parker probably didn't know the difference because
Yeah.
he probably can't speak Chinese, so you can just say whatever you want, really.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good. Cool.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
I think like in this journey, one of the important things is I'm trying to realize and understand what is love. Because I will say I don't have a really close relationship with my parents
Okay.
in high school and in college. So I was always wanted to, reconcile, but understand like how I can love again. So I think from those interaction, and I really relearned, I see, how can you love so many people? Because sometimes it's not like it's easy right now. Like we go talk or serve the homeless people. Sometimes it's really challenging, but we still go do it. And like from those interaction that summer or from then until now, I'm like, yeah, it's because we know God love. We love because God first loved us. And that was just something that it's hard to just explain with words. Like, hey, this is a Bible verse, so and then that's correct. You actually need to live in the environment and then see a lot of people, they take in action.
Yeah.
And you realize, for them, probably also really hard. Because I was thinking, what if I born in a Christian family, maybe it would be different. But actually a lot of them, they were so, why do you want to be a missionary? It's so dangerous. And then it's not safe. And then what about like money and other stuff? I mean, different like circumstances will have different like challenge, but this is something that I realized no matter what happened, it's not, I chose not to love my parents because they did something that I think I don't really understand. But from 2018 until now, 6-7 years, I learned something that we love other people. It's not based on if they did something or they do something nice to me, but it's because, God's love. So it's Him. So I can keep on loving you. It's not because of your action. So I will stop loving you.
Wow.
So that was a really big breakthrough. And from only greeting words, living in my parents' house and then with them, and then not only say 早安, good morning, and like 晚安, good night, and then not having a lot of interaction. It's uncomfortable, but I think I was used to it. So those uncomfortable moments became really normal, but I know that's not something that I like. But from the interaction and learning from you guys, and I hope that people learning from we guys, and they will also learn how to love one another. Yeah.
When you decided to become a Christian or decided to get baptized, how did your family respond to that?
It was really difficult because I think that was, maybe to them it's from 0 to 100 because before when I go to church, and when I went to church, I only tell them I'm gonna hang out with my friend.
Right.
So they don't really know, and then I feel before my baptism, I want to tell my dad. So I have a conversation with him like, I'm a Christian, and I want to be baptized. I want you to be there. And my dad thinks things really okay, but I think I wasn't really noticed about his emotions, because parents doesn't like to pretend. I mean, they want to pretend that they know everything, but it's not their fault. But they were just really scared and unknown. They thought that being baptized is I need to like shave my hair and then just live in a temple, so like a monk.
Yeah, become a monk.
Yeah. But I think throughout these years, I mean, we have a big fight.
Yeah.
They even mentioned that if I'm gonna go baptized, they're gonna kick me out. So it was really tough.
Yeah.
And I shared with Chris and different friends and all prayed together. So we postponed our baptism, my baptism. And I think because of that argument, I mean, with the fight, that I think we have chance to really get to know each other's and what we believe. Yeah. So like really understand like, everything is broken into pieces and then God was trying to reform. So I feel that was even though at that moment I was really sad and crying.
Yeah.
And I was just really thinking about maybe I should just move out. But my brother was saying, hey, you didn't do anything wrong. So he was really supportive. Yeah, and trying to help like my mom and my dad, like the conversation between my mom and my parents.
Yeah.
So that was something was hard, but I think that's how God works everything for His good. Yeah.
Yeah. Did it end up getting any better?
Yeah. I mean, I feel this is my feeling, like I don't like church. They don't like church. Now they will say, hey, can you bring this to share with your church? So
Like
I
a treat
think,
or something.
yeah, a treat or,
They brought back this bag of really yummy candy from Europe.
yeah.
I ate most of it, sorry. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Yeah, that's cool. They're generous now, and they're kind of more amiable or more kind towards church in general.
I think it's starting from, come, never. I think maybe Aroma is their first church they have ever visited. But I think from no church to at least now they're willing to come when we invite them to the special service. So that is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, what motivates you now? You're here. How'd you get here? Like, maybe I could say, why do you stay?
Why do I stay?
Why not leave?
I think one thing I realized God's love, of course, and I want to make, excuse me, I want to help more people to understand that because I think people around my age or this generation, maybe I shouldn't say around the world, but I think in Taiwan, most of the people feeling like lost. So they don't know what they can do. They don't really know who they are. Everything they do is just go to school, have good grades, go to good college, find a good job.
Yeah.
So big house, big car, but is there something that they really like or what they really want? So how to help them to understand their identity and show them, hey, you are worthy not because you're a straight A student or because of things that you have, but because God loves you. That's what. And then another thing, it's probably this place is how I get to know God and become, and it can help people.
Yeah.
So I just I feel God want me to stay here and help others. Yeah.
That's cool. That's good. Well, thank you for sharing with us how you got here. I'm excited to learn more and talk about many different things with you.